From 90.7 WFAE, this is Newsworthy for Monday, May 4th, 2026. I'm Eric Teal. After rejecting Superintendent Crystal Hill's proposed budget, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools Board held an unusual Saturday morning meeting to outline their concerns with the district's $2.1 billion plan. Board members didn't ask for specific budget changes, and Hill didn't participate in the discussion. Instead, board members said they want more information about how topics like CMS is being affected by declining enrollment, how many school psychologists are in elementary schools, and whether CMS is doing enough to help multilingual learners and close achievement gaps between racial and ethnic groups. They also talked about big picture questions like whether iReady computer tests are appropriate for all age groups and whether the budget is equitable. The board is holding another budget workshop on Tuesday. Hill is then expected to present her revised budget Friday with a board vote next week. The CMS board also met for more than an hour in closed session to talk about unspecified personnel matters and consult with their attorney. Board members didn't say what the discussion was about, but did say Superintendent Hill will be present at future budget meetings. Atrium Health and WakeMed have proposed a merger that could bring major investment to North Carolina. The two systems announced a plan Friday afternoon to combine operations, including a $2 billion investment in Wake County and the creation of more than 3,300 healthcare jobs. Leaders say the deal would expand services, including virtual care and mental health treatment, for about 1 million people statewide. The proposal still needs regulatory approval. Some state leaders have already raised concerns about reduced competition and potential impacts on patients. Due to worsening drought in the Charlotte area, residents will have to begin to adhere to water restrictions. Kenneth Lee has more.
Charlotte Water is implementing the Low Inflow Protocol Stage 2, which means mandatory restrictions for customers beginning on May 15th. The decision is based on levels along the Catawba River Basin. Residents will be forbidden from filling new swimming pools. They'll also be limited to twice weekly watering and a ban on decorative fountains and pressure washing. Charlotte Water spokesperson Cam Coley said the area will need significant rainfall to repeal current restrictions.
We really need a lot more rain, though. We're several inches behind what would be normal, and so it's going to take more than one or two rains to get us there. And so we are encouraging people to, when it does rain, water less, take advantage of that. Don't water or wash your cars at home.
The utility said the goal is to reduce the region's water usage by 5 to 10%. Fines starting at $100 will be issued for residents not following restrictions. The last time the utility issued mandatory water restrictions was from 2007 to 2009. Kenneth Lee, WFAE News.
Most land in North Carolina is privately owned, which makes conserving it challenging for nonprofits and environmental activists. Zachary Turner has this report on a new agreement that aims to conserve a unique stretch of North Carolina's privately owned lands, the state's electric highway system.
Duke Energy Natural Resources Manager Scott Fletcher signed an agreement with the North Carolina Wildlife Federation on Saturday. The agreement brings NCWF one step closer to implementing conservation and wildlife education programs on Duke Energy's over 33,000 miles of transmission and distribution rights-of-way.
You now have habitat conditions for those species, Venus flytrap, pitcher plants, numerous federally listed plants, numerous federally listed butterflies.
Fletcher is also a member of NCWF's board. North Carolina is home to some of the most sprawling metropolitan areas in the country. Population growth puts additional pressure on the state's fractured forests. Tim Guestwicki is the CEO of NCWF.
These wildlife corridors along these 30,000 miles of transmission lines are optimum for our conservation work.
Both organizations said the partnership will help advance the state's plan to conserve North Carolina's most sensitive species. Zachary Turner, WFAE News.
A proposal to speed up the massive Camp Lejeune water contamination litigation is currently stalled in Congress. Public Radio East's Annette Weston has more.
The Ensuring Justice for Camp Lejeune Victims Act is intended to break a bottleneck by expanding the number of courts allowed to hear these cases. Victims advocate Jerry Ansbinger said that every single lawsuit must be filed in the Eastern District of North Carolina currently, and that's creating a backlog of thousands of cases for just 4 federal judges.
I really feel sorry for these 4 judges in this, Eastern District of North Carolina. They're facing a tidal wave of cases. Something's got to give.
Among other things, the new bill would allow cases to be heard in any federal court within the Fourth Circuit, which includes all of North and South Carolina, Virginia, and Maryland. In Eastern North Carolina, I'm Annette Weston, Public Radio East.
A May Day demonstration unfolded on Central Avenue Friday to show support for local immigrants and the working class. Marcel Villalot is with the Charlotte Metrolina Labor Council.
Immigrants are part of the heartbeat of our community, and especially after a very difficult year, it's time for us to come together, to put our fists in the air, to announce our power, workers over billionaires.
The crowd marched down Central Avenue, ending at the Latin American Coalition. The demonstration was organized by several immigrant and workers' rights organizations. The 3-day Boom Charlotte Festival wrapped up Sunday in the University City area. Elvis Meneyese has more.
Dozens of people held hands and danced in a circle under a large tent as the Southern Eagle, a Native American group, hit a drum. Bostic Locklear leads the group and says dance and music is key to uniting communities.
It's the biggest thing. That's what keeps our tribes close and learning and keeps our traditions and ways going. Without song and dance, you're really not a tribe.
This year marks the 9th annual Boom Festival. Cameron Watson is the artistic director.
We continually look around and say who's not here, who's not represented, both at Boom but also in the larger cultural sphere of Charlotte. And then we try to see how do we invite those folks in.
Watson says they plan to continue bringing those on the fringes into future festivals. Elvis Meneyese, WFAE News.
Average gasoline prices in Charlotte have risen over 16 cents a gallon in the last week, now averaging $4.03 a gallon, according to Gas Buddy's survey of 665 stations in the city. Prices in Charlotte are just over 12 cents per gallon higher than a month ago and stand $1.12 higher than a year ago. The Truist Championship gets underway at Quail Hollow Club this week, with 8 of the top 10 players in the world golf rankings participating. They include number 2, Rory McIlroy, number 3, Matt Fitzpatrick, along with Cameron Young, Justin Rose, and Colin Morikawa. Practice rounds get underway today. The Pro-Am event is Wednesday. The tournament proper starts Thursday morning at 7. And for Monday, May 4th, that's Newsworthy. I'm Eric Teal.